Hi everyone, Misha is here from Mad River Path. I had a long career as a professional adventure guide and outdoor educator. I also raised 4 kids and over the course of my work and parenting, I grew to realize that the long extended experiences in nature are essential for raising capable children. So we have created Mad River Path Adventures, a 6-day long camps for kids ages 10 to 14 this summer. And I want to talk to you about why it is an important experience for children in hopes that you would let your kids go. So I'll start by talking about our senses. When we're living in nature and away from the conveniences of the modern world, our senses become attuned to the sounds and smells, and we begin noticing way more than we notice in our daily life. Our vision broadens also. So that's rich sensory experience, and with that there are other senses like sense of self, sense of community, and also the important development of a common sense or sound judgment, the ability to make good decisions in a short amount of time under pressure. And that's a very, very important life skill. Another really important aspect of nature experience is opportunity to live in now. In a world where we are so encumbered by our material possessions, while we have endless time-saving and effort-saving devices, how much time do we really have to be present versus being distracted by managing all the things? So when you have a pack on your back and one set of clothes you're wearing, there's a great opportunity to live in now, when at the end of the day there's no devices and just you and nature. You sit around the fire, there are people around you, and you connect to those people in a very, very different way. So that's about living in now. And then the other important aspect is a connected living. So the ability to choose your campsite, to find drinking water, to find wild edibles, knowing how to find your way on the land without use of GPS. Those are living skills, and these skills build confidence and resilience. There's a fundamental difference between a wilderness experience and, let's say, a virtual experience, and that is because there is no pause button. You have to get through it and come out on the other end, and that's how you develop real confidence. We often talk about reverence and respect for nature, but how do you really develop that? How does it live in you? It cannot live in you through watching nature programs or reading books. But if you experience nature, if you really live with nature, you start realizing that you are an interconnected part. You are a small part of nature. You are not a dominator or colonizer of it. You just see yourself as a part of natural world, and you start making different decisions. All of a sudden, the uncontrolled consumption that leads to these problems of loss of biodiversity, the fragmentation of habitat, you internalize nature as a living organism. So when you start thinking about building a new house, you think twice about clearing a patch of undisturbed forest for your own needs. You say, boy, there's so many others who live here and they also have needs. And that, to internalize it, to be able to really make, not just talk about it, to be able to make decisions based on needs of others in nature, I believe it takes living in and with nature. And then there's a question of will. So undeniably, we have incredibly well-educated children and well-informed children. There's a difference between knowing and being able to act on your knowing, being able to do the right thing at the right time. Now, we have worked for thousands of years removing all the hardships and inconveniences. We created a very, very convenient world. And that's not a bad thing. We're raising a generation of gentle children who are capable of seeing needs of others, who are capable of creating a more just and inclusive world compared to previous generations. They're capable of it, but without hardships to face, without real work to do. How do they become who they're capable of becoming? So that's where Wilderness Expedition is a perfect vehicle for raising capable kids, because the experience is not contrived. It's not like a game during class. It's not a high ropes course. The mountains are simply there and they simply need to be gotten over. The river is flowing and you have to navigate your canoe if you want to safely get down. These are real life challenges that when we go in nature, we have to get through them, and we get stronger. We develop confidence, but we also develop will forces. And if you do this in community with others, you start seeing needs of others, and you're not only developing your will forces, but you're developing what I call altruistic will forces. That is about seeing the needs of others before seeing those of your own. Nature is calming and soothing. It works well better than anxiety medication. A kid with a strong sense of self, surrounded by a supportive community of like-minded peers and caring mentors, is less likely to get depressed. A generation of kids that are deeply connected to and invested in the Vermont backcountry are more likely to become a strong voice for the environment, and they're more likely to return to Vermont to raise their families. These are some of the reasons why we created the Med River Path Adventures. As a fellow parent, I recognize that it takes a lot of trust to send your kids away on a week-long, overnight wilderness program. But we are right here. The Med River Path Adventures are right here in Waitsfield. I'm fully available. I'm so happy to talk to you on the phone. I'm happy to meet you face to face. I have worked with thousands of kids over a course of 40 years, and I will take good care of the youngsters, and they will come back with the sun, with bug bites, with scratches, but happy and healthy and with a newly found confidence and resilience. So sign up for camp today. Thank you.